at the Player Coach, and we have finally worked out all of our issues. And you can see I am here on StreamYard, and I have a very, very, very special guest today, someone who is very interesting. Uh, I've spoken with her recently within the past week. She has a unique story that she's wanting to share to her audience and everyone who may be interested in listening to her journey. Again, I am very honored to be able to speak to her today. I'm not going to delay you. It's been too many delays already. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trey Ferg at the Player Coach. I introduce to you Miss Alicia Kathleen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Miss Kathleen. Come on up. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I am well, Trey. I
And
am well.
listen,
Thank you.
we've had so many issues getting this thing together.
Trey, man, angels of a
However,
saint.
we gonna work it out. I really appreciate you taking this time out today. Um, as I mentioned, I met you early last week, at some point last week, and I listened to you and I listened to your story, and I thought it was very unique for this space here at YouTube. And I just wanted to sit down with you and spend some time with you and get inside your head and find out who this Miss Kathleen is and what sparked her to be on this journey and how we can move it forward and create so much dynamic new entities and bring together so many unique people who may be in the same space as you are and looking for someone to come and motivate them to move uh, to a better space mentally, physically, and emotionally. So, without further ado, again, Miss Alicia Kathleen, how you doing, ma'am?
I'm well,
I'm
Trey. Thank
excited. I'm
you. That
excited.
was
I'm
that was
excited.
beautiful. That was
No, I'm
beautiful.
excited. I am. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I've been talking about it for the last couple of days, and after all the damn technical difficulties, here we are. We're starting it raw on StreamYard, and I really appreciate it. Okay, so listen, we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into it. And you see, I have pictures of you. We're gonna be flashing those throughout the interview, and you're gonna be able to talk us through the times in your life and things like that, different events. And I'm gonna go down my list of questions. Again, there's no rush, but we ain't gonna be out here all day. I'm gonna tell your story. I'm gonna listen and just may ask you to go into a little detail as we go further within the story. Okay, so here it is. My first question. My first question is very simple. Can you speak to us about your family life and background and any positive influences in your life?
Ooh, absolutely. Well, I am the wonderful product of reckless casual sex.
Wonderful product. Okay,
Yes,
interesting.
yes. Um, my mother and father, they weren't in a relationship. They were just, I guess, just doing their thing.
Okay.
And um, I learned, I learned just a few years ago that I nearly didn't make it into the world. That
Hmm.
I was almost aborted. um, my mother shared that because I have an older sister. She's about a year and a half older than I am. She already had one child, and she just wasn't mentally, physically, financially prepared for another. And she was going to abort me, but my father, he spread the news. He just spread the news that my mother was pregnant, and she was essentially too embarrassed. I'm assuming that was a thing back then. It was it was shameful. She was essentially too embarrassed to abort me. So here I am. Here I am in all my glory in
Okay.
the world.
What year were you born?
1984.
1984.
Yes, yes. I love you, Orwell. I love George Orwell. Yes,
That was a very
1984.
unique year for myself. I was in the 10th grade at the time, starting varsity football. And, I was almost an old man when you were born. Uh, that, that's very unique. You mentioned something about, what prompted your existence here on earth. I think that could probably relate to more than half of us
Yeah. Oh
here
yeah.
today as far as how we came about. Uh, and I don't want to pry too much about it, but did it have a positive or a negative or effect on you, or just didn't have any?
Oh, it definitely had a negative effect. Definitely, because like I said, I just learned that. Gosh, it's only a few years ago,
Okay.
and it explains a lot. I am definitely an empath. Always have been an empath, and I can just soak up feelings, and it's taken a while for me to manage that because it was too much at different times in my life,
Okay.
but early on I felt like I was unwanted. I felt like a burden. Um, and that that bit of information explains a lot. Um, and my mother, bless my mother, she tried her best, but that was the situation. Um, but I was fortunate enough. You asked me earlier, the positive influence in my life. I was fortunate enough to have my mother's mother in my life, my grandmother.
Okay.
My grandmother, that was my everything. A beautiful, beautiful, sweet, loving soul. Um, as a child, I was, and I still am, quite introverted. I was told that I would hide a lot as a baby. I was always hiding somewhere, and I it took a lot to get me to smile or laugh and cry. I guess there was a disconnect. But my grandmother and animals, any type of critter, I loved. But my grandmother she was
Very
crucial.
influential in your life.
Yes, she was crucial. She was crucial.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm going to ask you this question. This is totally off script. Do you have your Kleenex over there ready? I
Uh,
can listen. We can
oh,
pause so you can
you,
go get some.
I
Go
know
get
you
you.
do.
Go get you some Kleenex.
Oh, look, I think I prepared for everything.
Go get you some Kleenex.
Just a moment. Just a moment. Gosh.
Mhm.
Hold on. Oh gosh. You try to prepare for everything. You forget the littlest detail.
Yes.
Oh,
And
thank
when I
you.
when I
I'm a
hear
crybaby.
inflections, no, listen. When I hear inflections in people's voices, I already know what to prepare for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yes.
grandma was a great influence. Mom and dad was probably like a lot of mom and dads, just having fun, being young, not really thinking about the consequences of what may happen. However, despite all of that, they created a very unique and lovely young lady. So that's a positive. That
Yes.
is a
Yes.
positive, despite the negative in its capacity. But here we are today, 40 years later, and this is the product of what was created. So, next question. How were you as a student in elementary school?
Oh my goodness. Um, I did, I still do, I always will. I love learning. I need to learn. I need to study, to research, to create. I needed like air. Um, and that was really my salvation. A lot of times in my life, schooling. I didn't care for summer break or the
Mhm.
spring breaks, the breaks, because I was quite different um, from the other children in my household. Now, back up a little. My grandmother, mother, a couple of my uncles, my aunt, my cousins, we lived in a big house together until my grandmother passed. Then we all split up.
Okay.
So there were 6 other children. Well, sometimes 7, because my other cousin would be around often. But they were always outdoors and playing, doing kids do, normal kid activities. I was reading, writing, drawing, creating, questioning, being nosy. Um, One of my nicknames was the cat, the curious cat, because I was always into something. And uh, that was a bit of, I guess, peace for my grandmother, because she managed the household. And there were often 7 kids in the household. And we were back to back between my auntie and my mom. Was 3. It was 3 of us, my mom, and 4 of my auntie. So plus my other cousin who was around often. So it was a lot, for her to manage. And I was the quiet one. I guess I would be called a goody two shoes. Um,
Mm.
and I got a lot of
Harassment.
yeah, pushback for that from my cousins and my sisters.
Okay.
So because I always heard, and my family nickname is Lily. I always
Mm.
heard, why don't y'all go sit down somewhere like Lily? You see what she doing? And I got this evil eye from the other kids say like, so
Okay. So,
no, that was a
so is
lot.
it safe to say that grandmother was the matriarch of the entire family?
Absolutely. She was the glue. She was the glue that held everything together. Absolutely.
Was she a good cook?
Yes. Yes. A little too good. So I'll show you. I'll show the pictures. I'll show the pictures a little too
Okay.
good. We're Southern, we're Southern. So yes.
Okay.
She
Cool.
cooked all day because it was a lot of us, a lot of us.
Okay. So, and grandmother, she was one of those positive influences in your younger life. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Mom, was mom there, or was she just trying to figure out her path in life also?
Um, she was definitely trying to figure it out. She had me when she was not, yeah, 19. My older sister when she was 17. My little sister, I think she was 25. Yeah, she was 25. I had my little sister. But she was trying to figure it out, and she worked a lot. She worked a lot. She often had multiple jobs. So she left everything to my grandmother. My mom was more like the fun auntie. We didn't even call her mom. Well, I know I didn't until I was, I want to say, a teenager, around 14 or so. I
Okay.
distinctly remember her saying, my grandmother passed when I was 12, but I distinctly remember my mother saying, you all can call me mom if you want, because we call grandma mom. And I had to say, I was a little smart, but I was a little sarcastic something. So I
Okay.
got in trouble for that too. But I remember thinking, yeah, right. I
Okay.
remember thinking, please, I remember thinking you could never measure up to her. And I'm not as sad to say, but my grandmother, she was my idol. She was everything. But she worked a lot, and we all lived in a house together until I was about 10. And then she moved out. She moved to the next city to be closer to her job. Um, and I remember that having a devastating effect on me, because I still, every kid still loves their mom,
Yes.
so her not being there was hard for me. And I didn't really understand why we didn't go live with her. We would see her for the most part on the weekends.
Okay.
But during the school year, especially, We were with grandma. Grandma took care of us.
Okay. So, how were you as a student in high school then?
I did very well throughout school. I did very well throughout school. In my senior year, now I definitely get my work ethic from my mom. Thank you, Mom. Because I started working when I was about 12 or so, little odd jobs. But my senior year, I found a position because I love animals and I wanted to be a vet. And I found a position, without my mother's permission. I skipped school to apply for a job, in the next city over, and it took about an hour and a half on the bus. So I got the position, and then I arranged my schedule. It kind of overlapped. So
Okay.
I ended up skipping my last course of the day, which was gym class, so I can get to work.
Okay.
Which caused some problems with me academically, but that caused me not to graduate. I essentially couldn't graduate because of my attendance, not because of my academics and stuff. And I couldn't make up gym class. I couldn't make it up.
It's one of those classes you can't make up. So did you have
Yes.
how did you end up eventually graduating at some point?
I got my GED like the next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did complete that.
I test very well, so it was easy.
Okay. So with that being said, and you said you worked, what was your most challenging time in school?
I say early on, I was about 5 or 6. I got the rude awakening that I was essentially on my own. I remember having a hard time with some type of homework assignment and asking my mother for help because for whatever reason, my grandmother wasn't there. And she was just and I'm sure she was overwhelmed, but she was just so frustrated. And I could tell she didn't really want to help me. So I said, I just figured it out on my own. And I had that attitude throughout. So it was that time frame. And then I am very shy, naturally shy and introverted. So I had a hard time throughout my schooling, making friends.
Okay. Did you play any sports while in school?
No
Sports, no cheerleading,
no interest in physical activity at all. That's why I had no issue with skipping gym class.
Okay. Were you a middle child?
Yes.
I was a middle child too.
Yes.
We just have to figure it out. Ain't no instructions given to us. Ain't no they'll let you roam around the whole city if you could.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Children. I'm a middle child, so I can relate to your story. Just figure it out, So, okay. So
I learned a lot. I learned a lot. What not to do for my older sister. Oh boy, bless her heart.
Okay. Yeah. So next question: did you attend college?
I did, but only for a semester or so. I didn't make it long. At that point, I was working 2 jobs, and especially one. Now I was a waitress. One of the jobs was seasonal during the summer because I lived in a tourist city. The other position was year round, and the year round position was a bit taxing because it was a slightly higher end place. And we had to be really well versed with the menu and the wine selection, alcohol selection, and it was constantly changing. So I had a hard time focusing on my jobs and schooling, and I didn't have a vehicle, so I would have to catch the bus to school. So it was just a lot. I wasn't getting sleep. It was pretty draining, and I think that the tipping point was because I'm a very positive and upbeat person. A tipping point was I heard a customer say, "Ooh, the waitress looks like a zombie." I said,
wow.
I said, "Oh, something has to give. Something has to give."
So was it something that, was it an expression on your face or just the look in your eyes?
I was exhausted. I was
Okay.
exhausted. Yes, I was
Are you
exhausted. I had a hard time remembering the menu items and the specials.
okay? Are you someone that can speak with their eyes?
Yes. I make a lot of expressions on my
Yeah.
face. Um, yes. So
Okay. So now we get ready to get into some meat and bones of the question.
okay, bring
Okay.
it.
So uh, again, we're just gonna continue with some of your background. Are you married or were you ever married?
Oh, well, yes, legally I'm still married. I'm going through divorce. I met my husband when I was 22. We were
Perfect.
married. Yeah, we were married when I was 25, baby at 26. So
Okay.
yes.
So you did everything in the correct order.
Yes, I wanted to break the cycle. I wanted to break that cycle, because I saw, the effect. Because I went through a lot in my teenage years, and backing up a little, I initially started skipping to go to work,
Okay.
but on that bus, well, actually at the bus stop, I met, I didn't know until later, but I met a predator. I was 17 and he was 25, and that led to a lot of violence and a
Wa-
lot of
Was
a
this
lot of trouble.
was
So
this was this person eventually became your husband? Oh,
no,
so the
no
relationship
way,
before that. Okay.
no
Okay.
way,
Okay.
no way.
So you were young when you experienced this, correct?
Yes.
So, and this is going off the topic. How were you able to sort of navigate through that experience and still, not come out with a child, and were able to move forward and eventually get married? And you say you got married almost 20 years ago, and here we are today. How were you able to move forward from that experience?
That's a great question. Um, I guess all I can say is that I'm not a quitter. I'm
Okay.
not a quitter. Um, that situation, there was a lot of violence. There was a lot of sexual assault. I thought, because I had so little knowledge, my father wasn't around. I saw him a few times a year. Um, my mother wasn't really emotionally available. My grandmother passed when I was 12, so
Okay.
I I was pretty much blowing in the wind, and I thought that kind of was the norm. You know, you get older, you get in a relationship, if you're in a relationship, you have to have sex. Um, and I was pregnant. I had an abortion, um, traumatizing, and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that. But going through what I went through, I did not want to bring another life into to recreate that cycle. And so,
Right.
oh gosh, I didn't want to do that. And it was, looking at it now, it was selfish. It was selfish. And in that time though, I was thinking of my child. Um, but knowing what I learned a few years ago from my mother,
Hmm.
is any life is better than none at all.
Yeah.
So that's something that like I say, I'm not proud of, but that's what happened. That's what
I mean,
happened.
but when I hear stories like this, it's always unique to me. You were young. Um, I would think that you probably went against probably the wisdom, and you were doing things as you thought that they were to be, in a sense. You met someone. He put the man spell on you. You fell for it, like you would do. You're impressionable at that age, guys talking all the good stuff and getting you. So you did what you did. You had a child, but even with that, you know what I'm saying, it's like a catch-22 when you're young like that. You understood that bringing someone into this world at that time could be even more detrimental to yourself and probably the child based off your experience in that relationship, but you still were able to experience that, and it did not, well, I didn't say it did not, but it seemed to not affect you in a sense to where you could actually meet someone, fall in love, get married, and create a family in that dynamic
It's a
compared to what we see a lot of, like you said, you wanted to break the cycle.
yes.
So in your youth, you saw a lot of this dysfunctional, relationships and children being born. So I think that speaks volumes within itself for yourself. Even at a young age, you understood, like, regardless of what I'm doing, it's some stuff that I just cannot do right now.
Mhm.
So listen, you're not alone in this story. And again, I appreciate your courage for just being open and being honest. And we talk all the time. Just be wary sometime of being too open and too honest, because the audience. So you always have to think about the audience. And 17-year-old young ladies, they're waiting to hear you. They're waiting for you to tell them, that it's not over. There's still opportunity. So just my soliloquy, because me always speaking as a big brother or something, how I do, uncle, cousin, that's just me. But I do think that it is very unique, and I do appreciate you just being open about that. So, and you mentioned you have a daughter.
Yes.
How old is your daughter?
She is 13 now.
13. That said, oh, I'm ready to break out in the pimples. I'm ready to go get me some braziers. I don't know what I like. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm happy. Um,
She's wonderful.
a
She is
ball of wax.
she's wonderful. She really is. She
So
really is.
compared to her age and your age at that time, who do you think was a better individual? Just
She definitely has my spirit, but she has someone guiding her, which makes a huge difference. A huge difference. So I didn't have that. My grandmother passed when I was 12, right before I got into that age. Um, so
yeah. So
yeah.
how's her relationship with her father?
It's non-existent right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to figure some things out.
Okay.
It's been this divorce has been pretty traumatizing for I want to say all parties involved. Um, so we're just taking it a day at a time, trying to figure things out. She needs her father. She
Yes.
needs that masculine, energy and the male guidance in her life. And I'm just trying to make sure that she has the best chance possible. That's all we can do for our kids. Give them the best chance. Give them the best chance because they have a lot to contend with, and
Yeah.
they will have a lot to contend with this world.
Is there something that you and your husband, well, your ex-husband to be, have you all sat down with her and talked to her together about that, or you're just trying to fill and plug in
No,
the holes with that?
no, we haven't. He's been MIA for quite a while now.
Okay.
Um, I I tried to work something out initially, but um, I didn't really get a response.
Okay. Okay. Um, in my experience in working with women in your situation in the past, I would recommend sitting down with her and really just going over things in detail so she can have a better understanding, because she can understand and she can see,
Mm-hmm.
even though things may not be spoken about, but she can see, and just try to give her a better understanding and allow her to, when that time comes, to just try to build a relationship with him,
Mm-hmm.
because if I was to ask you who filed, then
Oh,
you know, go
I'll
ahead.
share if you like.
But that's up to you.
Yeah, I don't mind sharing. I filed. I
Yeah.
filed. Um, he said he told both of us that he was leaving. Um, so I filed. Yeah, and
So
he
so,
left.
so
He left.
he first mentioned that he was ready to not be a part of the family anymore.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That was the last straw for me.
Wow. And he told the same thing to his daughter.
He said that in front of both of us. And my
Wow.
daughter sank. And that was the last straw for me. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, that could be very traumatizing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
to a 13-year-old because that's very
Well,
impressionable.
she was 10 at the time.
10. Okay. 10. Yeah, that's really because 10-year-olds love their daddy.
Mm-hmm.
They want to. Again, I would just recommend just sitting, having those conversations, talk through her feelings. Allow her to express her feelings however they come out.
Yeah.
Because as she releases those feelings, she's not harboring those feelings. And then when she gets to that 15, it's totally different from 13.
Yes.
And she
We
won't just flip a switch and start doing everything opposite of what mama's been trying to put in her. So allow,
we've both had a bit of therapy. We could definitely use some more.
yeah.
But
I mean, just having those open and honest conversations
oh
now.
yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying? 13-year-olds are very smart, very aware of what's going on, and want to be told the truth so
Mm-hmm.
they can process it and just allow her to process it, however it
Yeah.
comes out. Yeah,
We've always been close. We've always been close. I definitely wanted to make sure we had a strong bond because like I said, I didn't have that with my mother. My mother and I are fine now, but it isn't what I think a
right.
child would want, the kind of relationship a child would want with their parents. So I ask questions. I encourage her to ask questions. Um, and I just try to be honest with her, with where she is, in her life. So
So that's very unique. Again, to be as vulnerable as you are and able to share that story. Again, I'm going to keep telling you, it's very unique. It's a needed story to be
thank you.
told to young women. You have a perfect target audience. You have a 13-year-old daughter. Find 10, 13, your 15-year-old to 15-year-olds and put them in a circle. Tell your story and then help them navigate through theirs. It'll be a life-changing event for you and for them.
Yeah, at that age, I was suicidal at that age.
See?
So I definitely understand.
Okay. So now, next question. Since you're almost in a position where you're going to become a single parent, right?
Mhm.
So since that time, what are some issues that you've had being, you're not a single parent and, technically, but you're living a single parent life? What are some of the issues you've encountered?
I would say just not having the time that I would like to have, feeling a bit rushed. Um, the last before before my husband left, the last 2.5 years or so, I was a full-time stay-at-home mom, and I've always homeschooled our daughter.
Okay.
So, and and I create a lot of her curriculum. So it's time consuming and not having quite as much time to do that as I would like to. But then she's also older and she's getting more and more independent. So I don't have to quite as much. I don't have to create every lesson plan. She has a lot more freedom to do her own thing, spend time with her friends and things of that nature. So I guess the time will really be the issue. But it's like I said, she's getting older. It's getting better. It's
Okay.
getting better.
Okay. So since she's gotten older, time management is not as tasking as, now she's older, like being a middle child. Like 13 is like being the middle child. You can figure some stuff out on your
Yeah.
own. some
Yeah.
stuff I can guide you through. Yeah, so I can understand. Now, again, I always, ask that tough question first. So, what are some benefits of being a single mother,
Ooh,
or if there are any?
I I wouldn't say this will be just a benefit of being a single mom. I would say it's just a benefit overall, not having the toxicity in the household.
Okay, okay,
Everything being light and peaceful and just full of love and joy and
okay,
optimism. That's a win-win. Absolutely. Absolutely. No drama, you know.
okay. That's very unique. So, do you and her have moments or throughout the week or day when y'all have like a little fun time,
Oh,
a little,
yes.
it's a little goofy time?
Oh, absolutely. I embrace the child in myself.
Okay,
I do. Sometimes she's like, "You
give
doing
you
too
that
much,
weird
mom."
look. Yeah.
Yes, but we have a good time. We have a good time. I'm pretty goofy. Um, and so is she. She's hilarious. And we just explore each other. We explore the world. I love watching her grow. I've learned so much from her. She has opened my eyes to so many different just topics and points of views, and it's good. I love being a mother. I love being a mother. It's a gift. Um, it's a
Mhm.
gift. Yeah, we have a
Okay.
good time.
Yeah, I mean, I think being a parent within itself is a unique journey, because now you're forced to think about someone other than yourself,
Yes.
and when my sons were younger, everything I did, I thought about them. It didn't matter. Going shopping, putting them in sports, going to the school, showing up at the games. I was prepared like I was playing. I was,
Yep, yep.
we here. We
I
gotta
knew
do
all
it.
the dance steps.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
not a dancer, but I knew all the steps. Yep.
so I think that that's unique, and I think more parents would benefit. Just being more supportive, um, in some capacity, allowing the children to just learn things new outside of the parental supervision.
Mhm.
Get
Yes.
something structured, something organized. Let someone else teach them. It's probably the same stories and about life and accountability and integrity that you would say, but they let somebody else say it so they can be like, "Oh, my mom or my dad heard this, told me the same thing." So it can. I've always believed that it resonates a little bit better to the child. Like, "Oh, my mom was always saying something about this,"
Hmm.
and then somebody else come along who she don't even know say the same thing. Like,
Yep.
"Oh, okay, it's just not me and my mom. The world is this way."
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no problem. Have you created anything like, or are you a draw artist, sing, dance, paint, you know,
Yes.
poetry, anything?
Yes. I have to create. I have to. That's the air I breathe. I have to. I draw. I paint. I sculpt. I try to do a little bit of everything. I'm always trying to learn something different. I with my business, um, I love games and I love creating
Okay,
games. I've created quite a few games. But my business is it's a game essentially. It's a trivia game that I created.
okay,
And I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Um, so yes, I need that. I
okay,
need that intellectual stimulation consistently.
okay,
And I don't need it from anyone else. I can provide I can provide it
okay,
to myself.
okay.
Yeah.
So this is a good time to, ask everybody to hit the like, share, subscribe to Trey Ferguson, the Plug Coach.
It's a
Hit the like,
fly
share,
here.
subscribe to Trey Ferguson, the Plug Coach. And also, we have a little slideshow of you. So let's present that slideshow, and then we can just walk through the pictures if you like.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
So
Let's get started.
All right, so let's pause it right here. Okay, so who is this curious young lady?
Oh my gosh. That's me.
Yeah,
That's me. I believe I was 3 months old.
3 months old.
Yes. My mom
Look,
said I had just had my ears pierced and she had to do it because I looked like a little boy.
yes, it looks like you're looking at some. Was it the cameraman you're looking at?
I
I
don't
know you probably don't remember, but
I don't know.
you look like somebody stole your toy right here. Like,
I don't
who is
know. Who knows? No.
okay, so it's
Yeah.
unique about how Black children are born with hair. You know, have a head full of hair. You know, you can tell you just got out of the, I guess were you crawling right here at this age?
No, I wasn't because I'm pretty sure I was about 3 months old.
Okay. You, you,
I
you look
believe
a lot,
so.
you look a lot older, maybe about
May
5 or 6
Hey, I may be
years.
wrong. I may be wrong. I don't really recall. I should have asked my mom before before I put this together.
Okay, no, listen, very unique. And see how parents dressed you back then, nice and modest. You know, it's a nice little yellow outfit on, signifying that you were a female. You didn't have to put no tight, I don't know what those little tight headbands on the baby's head and all that.
Oh yes.
You know,
Oh yes.
parents didn't do all of that back then. They let you just be free.
Hmm.
What was the yellow, pink, colors like that? It's a girl. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's a girl. We don't need all the extra stuff. Maybe some footies on your feet, no heavy shoes and nothing, cutting off your circulation. So I love that time and the way parents just sort of brought their children into the world and groomed them up, just allowed them to just be kids. Now the earrings at a couple of months, most women would probably do that. I wouldn't let my children get none of that as a kid.
My
So
my
let's
mom my mom. I think it was my grandmother told me the tale of ooh,
no,
oh,
I changed it.
oh, you got it. You got it.
It's,
Okay.
it's supposed to have stopped, but hey.
Oh, hold on. Let me go
So who is
back.
this young lady? See, okay. So who is this here?
That's me.
Oh no, who's the lady that you with?
Oh, that's my grandmother. That's
Okay,
Big Mama.
okay.
That's Big Mama.
She looked like she could get in everybody. She looked like
What? She had a gold tooth.
yeah, she looked like she didn't play.
No, she didn't. She didn't. She didn't. But she was so sweet, and she always had us children in the house, but she was always babysitting somebody else's kids, or
Mhm.
someone else was living with us. I can't. So many different families from um different backgrounds too. There were white families that lived with us in different times.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, she's a beautiful soul. A beautiful soul.
Okay. Now, who made that hat?
I don't know. I don't know. It may have been her because she could crochet. My mother can also crochet. And I can't crochet, but I can sew. But it may have been my grandmother.
And see the skills women had back then, crocheting. I ain't
Hmm.
seen nobody crocheting outside of an old white lady in years.
Yeah. My mom crochets very well. She crochets very well.
And I can see that you must have just got out of the tub or something because they don't have any clothes on you. Like you out there with your tatas and your bun buns out.
Everything's out.
It just now the crazy question is you didn't let go on your grandma, did you?
Oh,
You didn't
I
ruin her
hope
sleep
not.
over there, did you? Okay. I was just checking. I was just asking. I
I
was just
hope
asking.
not. I'm so sorry, Grandma. I love you.
All right, so let's go to the next picture. All right, here we go. Oh my God.
Oh gosh, it's a
Let
big
me
grandma.
guess this age. 5 or 6.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
six.
Yeah, I
Look
can
at
guess
her. Look
that.
how she's looking at me.
Yes. Y'all got the same smile. You smile like grandma.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Grandma. Grandma would be waiting on the porch for us to get home from school, out there in her moo.
Mhm. Yeah. A onesie, a little one piece.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
She had the switches. She had switches for each of us, and she had to hide them because I'm not gonna say their name. One of my cousins will find them and break them.
Oh yeah,
So she,
of course. I used to do
she
the
had to
same
have the
thing.
switches.
You know, so let me see. You was what, between 5 and 6 here.
Hmm.
Most of us always have that little. Well, I think you was probably past 5 because your teeth are growing back. Look like your permanent teeth are growing in.
Yeah, I have big teeth. Big teeth. So they were huge when I was a kid.
Well, we have to grow into stuff, so
Yep.
everything seemed to work out, and we all had that little fat pudgy nose. That's to breathe. That's to breathe the hot air in. So that's just who we are. So again, was this a quiet kid, little reserved?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's
Absolutely.
unique.
I
Let's,
stayed to
let's,
myself. It was either grandma or the critters. My uncle was there. He was a wonderful role model.
okay,
My uncle, yeah. But we all split up. My grandmother passed when she was 12, so I didn't see him much after that.
okay, okay. So let's go to the next picture. Okay, so it's going. All right, here we go. That looked like the first day of school.
Yes, I was going to school. I love school. I love
What
school.
grade is this? Second, third grade?
Oh gosh, I want to say second grade ish. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, you still had that hair.
Yes,
That
yes,
hair.
and it's funny because for the first few years, my grandmother said that I was pretty much bald. I had a little peach fuzz I had on the baby
Mhm,
photo,
mhm.
and then my mom, she braided my hair into really tiny braids, and my grandmother couldn't remove them, so she cut them out.
Wow.
She cut them out. She said my hair started growing in.
Okay, that's unique.
Yes, yes.
Well, they do say when you cut your hair young, it grows back double in a
Mhm.
sense. Yeah, and it looks. I don't know. I've always been into the just young women maintaining their natural hair. I don't know. I guess growing up with sisters and my mother,
Now I
it just
had it looks like it there. My mother would relax our hair. She would relax our hair. And this was after my grandmother passed. So I want to say about 13 or 14.
okay.
I had never experienced my natural hair. And as you can see, it's pretty dense.
Hmm.
And I hadn't had a relaxer in a while. And I remember the back of my head felt like a knot trying to brush my hair into it because I kept it in the ponytail, trying to brush it, and it was like a knot, like a mass.
Hmm.
I think, what is that? Do I have some kind of weird growth? And I remember asking my mom, what is this in the back of my head? She was like, child, leave me alone. And I was like, what is that? And I found out later on it was my natural hair
Oh
growing
wow.
in. Yes, and I
Wow.
didn't start growing my natural out until adulthood.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, never too late.
Yeah,
Never too late.
yeah. And even then I went back and forth for a few years.
Okay.
Yeah.
In this picture, you appear pretty tall for a young girl. How tall are you now?
Oh, 5'3.5".
5'3"
Yeah.
and a half.
I'm really slim. I'm really slim. My dad's like 6 foot something. And my mom's 5'2" ish.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
So you got more mom's height than dad.
yeah,
Dad,
absolutely. I'm
dad
his.
gave you an inch. He gave you an inch in there.
Yes, yes, I'm his to build, but I'm her height.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It's looking at you on the screen. It would appear that you're a lot taller than you said you were.
Oh,
Maybe 5'9" or taller, but being 5'3", that's definitely a good height. Now, are you close to this size today?
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
You'll see in some later pictures. I put on a little weight
Yeah.
with my pregnancy,
Yeah.
and I put on a little weight after I stopped nursing because I nursed for a year.
Yeah.
Um, but for the most part, I hover around 120.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next picture. So here we go. Now we're getting into it.
Oh, all right, all
We getting
right.
we looking at preteens right here.
Yes, I want to say that is about me at about 11, 12,
Yeah.
maybe.
I was
I say
thinking
12-ish. Yes. Yes. In the green, that's my oldest sister,
Okay.
and the youngest is my baby sister.
Okay.
Yes.
Again, middle children, you
Yes.
always
Yes.
do best.
And I want to give a shout out to all of my teachers, Miss Kavanaugh from first grade,
Okay.
Miss Dolda from fourth grade. I've always loved, reading and writing and things of that nature. Miss Dolda, she gave me, well, she loaned me The Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe, the Chronicles of Narnia. And she wasn't supposed to give out the books from the classroom,
Mm.
but I guess she saw something in me. So she loaned it to me. Oh my gosh, I fell in love. That really opened my world to literature, different forms of literature. I love a good story and writing a good story.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Dolda. And in high school, it was Miss Platt. Miss Platt.
Miss Platt.
Miss Platt. Miss Platt. Yes.
Get your
Yes.
name, Miss Platt.
Miss Platt. She was awesome.
Okay, so great. Here we are at age 12, sitting back, got a nice little gray hair, nice smile.
This is at my mother's place because she moved out when I was about 10. She had already moved out of the home to be closer to her job. So this is at her place. I thought it was fancy. It was a little condo. I thought it was so fancy. And I love being there. But my grandmother had passed. So it was also a hard time for us because she was really our mother. So
yes, I can see that being a difficult adjustment, especially at that time.
Yeah.
All right, unique. So let's go to the next picture. And here we are. Okay.
Oh, okay. So
15-year-old you.
This is 19-year-old me. This is my
19?
birthday. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, this is my birthday. Okay, so let me go back. Let me rewind a bit. 17, I have been working since I was 12. I was babysitting. My first job was at Busch Gardens.
Okay.
And me and my older sister, my mom would take us. It was quite a ways from where we lived, so we couldn't go. They initially planned a shuttle for us, but it didn't work out. So she drove us for the first, I want to say, month or so, but she couldn't continue doing that. So we only worked there a month or so, but that was awesome. Worked at Busch Gardens, and I loved animals. And my mother, I found a position in the newspaper at a kennel, a boarding facility.
Mm-hmm.
That was also quite a ways away from where we live. But my mother, thank you, Mom, she got me out there, and I worked there for a while. But she couldn't continue doing that as well. And I also did that during the summer and during the holiday season, because I was still in school. Then let's see. Then I also this when the newspaper ads are popular. Looking in the ads, I found positions as a server, do temp service.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a waitress at different events and venues. Oh my goodness. I was a waitress at so many beautiful weddings and bar mitzvahs and special occasions. That also expanded my world. And I was making money and of course spending it every week in the mall.
Yeah, that's what you do when you're young.
Yes. So I did that. Then at 17, I found a position at that one particular animal kennel, and the veterinary hospitals next door. That's what I loved about that place. The owner of the veterinary hospital also owned the kennel, and he had agreed to allow me to watch some of the surgeries and different procedures because I initially wanted to be a vet. So I was skipping school for that, and that's why I met that guy.
School.
Yeah, that's why I met that guy. So I had a hard time. There was a violent relationship, and this is me at 19. I had just left him. It took me a while, but I called the battered women's shelter, and they came. They came to pick me up in like 30 minutes. They were there. So at this point, I was living in one of their homes, and The first night I was there, I just had an altercation with my ex, and I was physically really damaged. Um, and I was the only one in this particular house because it was, it was really last minute and rushed. Um, and my room was upstairs, a townhome. My room was upstairs. So I remember making upstairs, and I remember it being really challenging because of the altercation. I had a lot of issues with my legs. I was really
Okay.
sore.
Okay.
Um, and I made it upstairs, but the phone was downstairs on the wall in the kitchen. Now, the neighborhood I was in, it was obviously really well known that this was a home for women like myself. And there were a bunch of kids playing at the door, ringing the doorbell, knocking on the window. And I was terrified. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. So I remember painstakingly making it back down the stairs and calling them, and I told them what was happening. And once again, they were there. They were there, and they came and picked me up, and they moved me to another location where there were other women and children.
Okay.
And we had counseling. They gave us different resources, but I just got the courage to leave. And at this time in this photo was my birthday. I was still working at that kennel, the boarding kennel with the animals. And my coworkers, they were also like my family, and they knew to an extent what was happening because my ex had been banned from my job because he was harassing my coworkers.
Okay. Okay.
So they were really proud of me. They were really proud of me on my birthday. And they took me out. We went to a local park, and they took me out to eat. And it was a fresh start. It was a fresh start.
So let me ask you about this picture. It's I assume it's definitely summertime.
Yes.
You had been out in the sun quite a bit. Because this is I'm out in the sun every day picture.
Yes. And a little fun fact. I love climbing trees. I love climbing. That was one issue when I was a kid. My grandma, she was always fussing with me to get out of a tree.
Okay.
Thankfully, I never hurt myself. I never fell. But I love climbing trees, and I was embracing myself again here.
Okay. I see you also have on glasses. Do you wear glasses today?
Oh yes, I'm blind as a bat. All the women in my family have poor vision.
Okay.
Yes, but I do
Does
wear
your daughter
glasses.
have poor vision also? Does
She
she wear glasses?
does. She
Okay.
does. Yes.
So that's definitely
We celebrated.
a trait.
We celebrated when she got her glasses. Yes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's unique. Again, you still have your natural hair. You still have your natural hair, which I think is unique for that time. You seem to avoid.
Yeah. I had it relaxed then. But it was pretty long. It was pretty long. Yeah.
All right. So here you are, 19 in the park, just liberating yourself.
And happy birthday to me.
Yes, happy birthday. Okay, so let's go to the next picture. Let's see what this is about. All right, here we go. Go.
Okay. That isn't lit very well, and it was at night, but this is in a local area. This little boy, I hope he's doing well. That was my little buddy. At the battered women's shelter, I became really close with a woman and her son. That's her son.
Mm-hmm.
And we eventually moved out of the shelter and got a place together.
Okay.
And I don't have pictures of that time, but she introduced me to her brother who lived in another state. And we talked for a while on the phone. And I was really apprehensive because I just got out of that relationship, just got out of an abusive relationship. But she said, you will be perfect for my brother. You two are so much alike. He's a sweet person. He would never, because she had been in an abusive relationship as well. That's what we met. She said he would never hurt a woman.
Wow.
So I said, I don't know, but we spoke on the phone for a few months, and then he decided to move up, move to our location, and then we were in a relationship for about a year and a half.
Okay.
Which was a wonderful relationship. Wonderful. He was he's Dominican. He's a Dominican guy.
Okay.
And I knew Spanish from school for my studies. And he helped me to refine my Spanish.
Yes.
But that's his nephew, sweet little boy, and we had a good time together. We did.
Yeah. You were very small, you know,
Oh yeah.
very
Oh
small.
yeah. So that's another thing too. As you can see with my grandmother, all the women in my family are nice size. So
Hmm.
there was a lot of bullying because I was
The
really
runt of the
tiny.
bunch. Is that
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
okay? Okay.
Was that, and I like my academics. You got made fun of because you were nerdy back then. So,
Well, you were, a very attractive young lady at the time.
oh, thank you.
You know, eh,
I didn't feel that way.
I
Very
understand.
low self-esteem.
Yeah, but no, you masked it well. You did a good job of hiding it, especially when you took pictures. And wouldn't nobody really know unless you spoke about it. So I think, listen, you've done a great job so far, just overcoming those issues within your life. So don't be so hard on yourself. Don't do it. Let's go to the next picture because I know it can be emotional. Now this is the
Oh,
always,
okay.
yeah. Let's
Woo,
talk.
look. I'm starting to feel myself now.
Yeah, you starting to feel yourself right here.
Yes, I'm definitely growing more confident. I'm still in a relationship with the Spanish guy, the Dominican guy. We had our own place at this point. Um, there was a business venture that I was exploring, so I had my little suit on.
Okay.
We were going through it. We had some hard times, but we supported each other, and we
How old were
loved
you
each
right here?
other.
Were you still 19?
Um, so I say either close to 20 or 20.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your little I'm going to work businesswoman style.
Yes.
You
Yes.
you ain't showing all of your goodies to the world.
We'll get there.
Yeah, yeah. What I'm saying, like I said, believe me,
I couldn't add some of the photos I have. How to say that?
what the ones that you sent is Mary Poppins compared to what we see. Your clothes are fitting appropriately, so it's always good to see stuff like that.
And I had a tomboy phase. But for the most part, I always loved dresses.
Okay,
Love dresses.
here we are, right?
Okay.
Who is this young lady right here?
We so at this point, my Spanish boyfriend, we had separated. He wanted more. He wanted to get married and do the family thing, buy a house and all that. I wasn't ready for that. He was a great person, but I wasn't ready for it. So this is me. This is another birthday, actually. Oh my
Okay.
goodness. I want to say 23.
Yeah, look like a young adult. Come on.
23. I went to New York for a few days. Um, I made so many friends through my jobs. And I had the two jobs, but I made so many friends through my jobs, and one of them had moved back home to New York, and I
Hmm.
was going to visit her for my birthday. And this is my first time in New York, and we are on the bus or the train,
Yeah,
something.
you look like you're on the L train.
Yeah, yeah, and I was a bit surprised. Where? Oh gosh, I want to say we were in Manhattan. We were in the Bronx or Brooklyn somewhere. I said, where are the trees? Where's the grass?
Mm-mm. Concrete jungle.
Yeah, then I saw the critters bouncing around
Hmm.
like puppies, the big rats. I
Yeah.
said, whoa, whoa. Culture shock, but we had a good time. We had a really good time.
I,
And
s-
I'm glad I had the experience.
I see, most of your pictures I've seen. Were you a big person on makeup?
I was, because I had really bad skin. I mean, I would break out horribly, horribly. So the makeup wasn't really for fashion. It was more so to cover up all those pimples.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, my sister experienced something like that in her teens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just came down to she wasn't drinking enough water
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
using the wrong type of soap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, I
Same
had,
here. Bad diet.
yeah, I had some issues with my skin. And when I went to the doctor, they told me to use the Dow antibacterial soap,
Mm.
and that cleared up my skin.
I
Yeah,
remember I think it's still around. Proactive was huge back then.
yeah, I never used none of that. I
I
thought
tried
that was
Proactive. I went to the dermatologist. They gave me all kinds of ointments. Nothing
mhm,
worked. And for a moment there, well, I guess a couple years, I kind of gave up. I said,
mhm,
well, I'm just gonna cover it up. I'm just gonna cover it up
mhm.
because I couldn't
Yeah,
fix it. But I found a cure. I found a cure, and my skin is awesome now. No makeup.
yeah, I think that that's always best. Just in my experience and what I like, I think make no makeup because when y'all face shine and y'all get a little flux, when you go out into the sun, when y'all get a little flux, your face shine anyway. So
And I'm sure that makeup was making the problem worse.
yeah,
Just
it doesn't really blend. I mean, makeup ain't really made for sisters. I don't. I may, you know, they may give me some pushback, but it ain't. It's not made for y'all. It's not made for y'all skin. Y'all skin is unique within itself because it's naturally oily,
mm-hmm.
and when you
Mine's
put makeup
extremely
on,
oily. And I use that. We need that sebum. That's why the black don't crack.
don't crack.
It protects the skin.
Yes,
Moisturize. That's your natural moisturizer.
you. In this picture, just my observation, you look like man. Don't come over here talking to me. I ain't got time for this.
Let's
Oh
see.
no,
My
we're gonna go.
friend,
No,
my
we're gonna go
friend
to
took
the
a
next picture.
photograph.
We're going
I
to the next
wonder,
picture. I want to see
my
this.
feet were probably sore because I
You
had
gonna
those
find
pumps on.
I want you to talk about this woman, hear me roar
Ooh,
picture.
child. Ooh. Now I love art, and I love fashion.
Mhm.
Um, So I call myself stylish. I call myself stylish, and I just, I was at a time where I felt good about myself. Mostly, I felt good about myself. It was my birthday. I was hanging out. I could support myself well. You know,
You got your collar turned up. You like,
yes,
I am fierce out here in these streets.
yes. We had a good time. We were having fun with the gentlemen. Um, yeah.
Were you a flirty type of person, like easy to talk to, and if a guy approached you, like,
Yes.
"Mm, you know,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
okay, yeah, because if I would have saw you, I probably would have approached you. And I was, I could be silly. I wasn't so hard up.
Yeah.
I just talk because like I said, I grew up with sisters, so it was easy for me to just talk to a woman without even trying to bring up anything related to sex.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And actually I met a wonderful, wonderful guy during that time. And we went out on my birthday for dinner. Yeah, we went to some little Mexican restaurant and they had the whole what's it? It's the what's the Mexican band called when they come out singing?
I'm not sure what it's called,
The
but I know.
mariachi. Is it
Yeah,
mariachi?
that's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean,
It's nice just to talk to people, get different perspectives without it being, sexual. It's
now
nice.
now your hair, it's giving the Grace Jones vibe at that
So
time. So
you and it's crazy that I don't have too many pictures of this, but I had a mohawk, and so I had the side shaven and the back shaven,
okay.
and I normally would flat iron it straight and
Hmm.
apply like a bunch of hairspray and gel to keep it secure. But in those past couple of pictures, I had it this just in a curly state, so you can't really tell. But yeah, I had a mohawk, and I used to go to the barber shop, and I would get all kinds of designs cut in the side of my back of my head.
Hmm.
And at one point, when my soon to be husband, he and I were dating, I had his name. I would keep his name cut in my hair.
Wow.
As
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have the
But
little
it was just in the
V?
hair. It wasn't a tattoo or anything like that.
Did you have the V's in the back of your neck, like the little V style? Because I know it was
I never
big.
did that. I remember I had, because I would have requests. I had clouds. I had hearts. My barber, he was an artist, very
Okay.
skilled. I
And
had
you
all
would have,
kinds.
you would let him practice on you.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes. Sometimes I say, hey, whatever you want, whatever you want, whatever you think is cool.
Okay. So let's go to the next picture because this is the grown woman, and you have a variety of different ones, so I like those. All right, now this is
Oh,
this picture right here is like, man, my feet hurt. I'm tipsy. I'm ready to go home,
tipsy.
go to sleep. Just take the damn picture so we can get out of here.
Listen, I don't even remember this moment. It would, yeah.
You're sitting in the store. How did
I'm
you?
in some store. It was I want to say it was 3 or 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I had been dancing all night. Oh my goodness. We had a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a good dancer?
No.
Oh Lord Jesus.
No. And I need that liquid courage to really get out there, and I had
Okay.
plenty.
Okay. Do you dance to the beat, the sound of the music, or the words?
I guess to the music, to the rhythm.
Okay. Okay. Hey, now some people don't have that rhythm. So
I do recall at one point we were at a club because we went to several, and we were at a club that you went to different areas and there was different musical styles, and we went to some little, we had like duck down to get to this like cave type
Okay.
area, and there was techno music, and there were a lot of Hispanic people, and they had the glow sticks and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, interesting experiences.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so I saw this picture, like, boy, I know she was tired that night. She was ready to go home
My feet were swollen.
and leave her alone. Are
Yes.
you a big heels girl, young lady? Do you wear a lot of heels, or are you more
I
flat?
did. I did. I don't wear heels anymore. I don't. I know this can sound strange, but I don't really see the point in them.
Okay.
And then they also bother my back because I had
Okay.
some issues when I was pregnant.
Okay.
So, but I used to, yes, absolutely. Was staying heels. I distinctly remember, and if you're listening out there, you know who I'm talking about. She had her son, and this is before I had a baby. And I said, I will never give up my heels. Never. She said, you will. Trust me, you will. I said, nope, nope, nope. You were right. to you know who you are. You were right. I quit.
Okay.
So yes, I love my heels. Mm-hmm.
So let's go to the next picture. Okay, let's go. Okay, explain this picture here. It looked like you were hanging out.
Oh my goodness. These are oh my goodness. I made so many close friends through my job. And they were some of them. We just, wow, we had a good time. I learned from so many different perspectives and ideologies, people from different backgrounds. At my other job, the more seasonal one, there were students that used to come in from different countries, Poland, Russia, and it was just, my world just grew. It just grew, and I loved it. I loved it. We had a good time. We did. We would go out after work and just talk to the wee hours, eat, drink.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good time.
I think that always fares well when you can have and when you can establish relationships with people from other races and cultures. I think
Yes.
that fares well as you become an adult. Because I went to a high school that was predominantly white, but they did everything that the black students did. They wanted to do everything we did. They would come down to the projects and hang out in the projects. He'd be like, they would
Cool.
we would have parties like towards the end of school. I know for 4 years straight, towards the end of the school year, like the last month, it was always a party at their house, at somebody's house during the school day. I'm talking during the school day.
Okay.
It's like from 10 to 2 because everybody had to get back to catch the bus at 2:20. And it'd be almost the whole senior class. It's like every year the classes would have a party. And me playing football, I don't care what class was there. I was going to the party. Yeah, I was that type of kid. But I think, just in having those relationships younger it definitely helped me as I got into my young adult stage and how to communicate with people from across the cultural spectrum. So I think it's always unique.
Yes, yes.
So let's go to the next picture. There we go, right here.
Okay. Once again, my coworkers, my friends, the shorter guy, we were really close. Really close. Yes. But yes, I'm so glad I had these experiences because, like I said, they opened up my world. People are so, there's a lot of negativity and dysfunction out there, but people are so beautiful. They're so talented. We can learn so much from each other.
Yes.
And these guys, wow, they were just amazing. Like the shorter guy, he was a culinary chef. I mean, skills like no other. Like, wow, he could make the little flowers and whatnot that looks real. He was that talented.
So, do you consider yourself an attractive woman?
Yes.
Because regardless of what people may say or think, other races and cultures understand attractive women too.
Oh, so let me touch on that. I got a lot of attention from white men.
Yes.
A lot of attention from white men. And me being small too, I think my physique is what they like. So yes. I got a lot of attention from white men.
Yes. The appearance in your package is very important. It's very important. But hey, maybe it's just me. And you can recognize it too. I think a lot of people recognize that also. So that's a unique picture. Still in your early 20s here?
Yes.
Okay. Next picture. And here we go here.
This is another close friend of mine. Okay. He was hilarious. Also, unique lifestyle. I learned a lot from him. We had a good time. We had each other's back when we were working. And I know this will sound strange to a lot of people, but waiting tables, sometimes it could be treacherous because it's a competition. It's a competition, especially when resources are lacking. When I say resources, I say like you as a server, you don't have enough glasses to make your guests drink, or you got to wait for something. But you want to serve the customer the best you can, as fast as you can, to get the best tip. So it could be pretty cutthroat. And some folks, a lot of folks, we had each other's back. We took care of each other.
Yes.
So, and he was one of them.
How old were you in this picture here?
Around the same age.
Okay. Well, you look like you were a very good waiter. You were.
Oh yes. I had requests and gosh, what's the term now? I can't remember the term. When I have repeat customers. Yes, at both locations, because I had the 2 jobs at both locations, and I loved it.
Okay, then. Let me see. Next picture. Okay.
Okay. So this is my wedding day. We were broke. And we had a good friend of mine, who I actually work with. He got his preacher's license online. I thought it was so funny back then. He got it online, And I remember telling him, yeah, we were gonna go to the courthouse and get married. And once we buy a home, we'll do a big celebration,
Right.
then do the honeymoon. We'll wait, because what's most important is, having a home.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
so he said, well, I'll marry you. He said, I'll marry you. I have my preacher's license. I said, really? He said, yeah.
Where you get that at? Out of Cracker Jack box?
No, he said he got it online.
Yeah.
He took some kind of course. I said, okay. It was legit. So that day, my husband and I were running around. We actually got in a car accident that day.
Wow.
Yeah. No one was hurt, thankfully, but we got in a car accident. I said, I'm not going to let this ruin my day, because that was the time that my friend was available to do the ceremony. I said, I don't, because we had already delayed it and rescheduled a few times. So I said, I'm not going to let this ruin our day. I can't, at that point, I didn't want to play house anymore, because we were living together.
Right.
Said, we're going to do this. Let's get it done. Let's make it official. Because we wanted children. So.
Okay. Is this a picture?
Breaking the cycle.
Is this a picture of you and your husband here?
Yes.
Okay. I can listen. Let's just dismiss him out the picture.
Yeah.
But as far as you in this picture, that's an A1 right there.
Thank you.
That's an A1 right there.
Thank you. And I've always made it a point to try my absolute best to be able to fit into that little dress. It was like a little cocktail dress, and I still can't. It's still hanging in my closet.
There you go.
It's still hanging in my closet.
There you go.
But that was a beautiful day. A lot of tears. It was a beautiful day.
Me and my wife took the similar path as you all did. When we met, we had great conversations. We were just all over each other, and we both was in a space where we wanted to get married. We didn't live together until we got married. But of course we would spend time with each other's house. And when we was having these discussions, when she said the courthouse, I was like, okay, cool. She was like you, she's like, well, I'd rather spend little money up front and buy us a nice little house. So within the first 6 months, we got married, then we moved in together about a month later. And then 6 months in, we were able to break our lease because the neighbors that moved in, they was on, I don't know what they was on, but we ended up, we found a nice townhome that was brand new. We was the first to move in it.
Ooh, gold.
It was in a historic monument on the south side of Chicago, so it worked out fine. We stayed there 5 years. Then we bought a new house in Noblesville, Indiana. And then last year we moved to the new home that we in now. So we were fortunate to get 3 new homes.
That's awesome.
We stayed in the last house in Indiana, in Noblesville, Indianapolis, Indiana, about 3 years. So this is going on our 2nd year here. So, people say you can't do it. We've been able to do it.
Yeah. What is a will is a way. He had some issues financially. So, while we were dating and in the earlier stages of the marriage, I was pretty much the breadwinner, and I did well for myself waiting tables, but I'm supporting two grown people now. So it was tight. It was tight. And even with our rings, we went and we just got wedding bands. We got some little cheap wedding bands from somewhere. I think they were like $10 a piece, something like that.
Okay.
Because we were looking at the ultimate goal of, having our family secure, being to raise our family, and purchasing a home.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, everybody has a method that they apply, and if it works, hoorah, right on. If it doesn't, you can always go back and revisit it and change it up a little bit. So but hey, I'll tell you this picture, if I'd have met you at this time, he'd have some competition right here. Like, hold up and back up. This ain't what you really want, but that's just me.
He did. I mean, he did.
Okay.
I chose him. We chose each other. Let me not say that. We chose each other.
Wasn't you a lucky woman then?
Yes.
So the next picture would be, yes, you going to a ball.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So now, um, now my husband and I, we had dated 3 years before we got married. Well, two
Okay.
and a half, because there was a time period when he wasn't there for about 6 months. I'll just say that. So about two and a half. Um, and got married early October, and this is Halloween. And we were still partying. We were still partying together, hanging out with all my friends, his friends, and whatnot. And this was my friends were having a big um Halloween party. I think did they have a party bus?
Okay.
Yeah, I think they had a party bus, and we all dressed up. I don't really celebrate Halloween like that anymore, but I had a grand old time. I remember because I want to be. This is Cleopatra, and I
Yeah.
went to the thrift store. That's a sheet. That's
Yeah.
a sheet that I cut up. I remember that he had to sew me into that dress because I
Okay.
couldn't figure out how to get it tight enough to look as seductive as I wanted to look. So he had to sew me into that dress. That
It
was
looks pretty
fun.
good. Now,
Thank you.
now the wig that you have on, oh my God, that looks funny.
Yes, that was so much fun. We had a good time. We had a good time that night.
You wore it well though. I mean, it looks like it's something that was made for you.
Thank
You know,
you. I felt
and you
good. I felt good. I was young. I was married. I had my friends. I felt good.
that's good. And again, uh, congratulations to you and kudos to you for doing it the right way. At
Thank
least
you.
like you do it the right way, get
I
better results.
tried. I tried.
See, when you do it the right way, you have children like you have your daughter. Nice, calm, mild mannered, easy going for the most part. When we
Yeah.
do it
Try
backwards.
to try to minimize the trauma as much as possible.
Yes, there you go. There you go. Next picture. Let's see what we got here. All right. Okay. Here we are.
Okay. Oh, that's so blurry. Look at my arm.
Hey, well, but again, you're with child, so you can't be too hard on yourself.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. Now, the Halloween picture, Cleopatra, and I feel so bad because I didn't know, because like I said, we were married early October, and we initially started right away having a baby, trying to have a baby, but
Mhm.
then some things changed with my husband. I'm not getting into these. Some things changed. It was pretty drastic change. So we said we're gonna hold off on the baby. So Halloween, I remember I had at least 2 drinks that night, but I didn't know I was pregnant.
Mm.
I said, "Oh my gosh, my baby's gonna be a sweetie. She or he's gonna have brain damage." I felt so bad. I felt so bad, but all worked out.
And
Everything worked out.
this is your uh husband here.
Yep.
That other picture compared to this one looking like uh, two different people.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
Okay,
Split personalities.
yeah, okay. So we're gonna go to the next picture. Let's go to the
Okay.
next picture.
So these were taken on the same day.
Yes,
This is my baby shower. There with my friends. I love this picture. Yes.
I can't believe.
Pregnancy.
Go ahead.
Oh, after you, after you.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Pregnancy was great for me. Except for that first 6 months, I don't want to call it morning sickness. It was all day sickness. And because of financial issues, I worked pretty much my entire pregnancy.
Okay.
So it was really draining on me, and I vomited all day, every day.
Okay.
My
Okay.
teeth started to like become discolored. It was bad. It was bad. Um, but after that 6 months, it was fine. I was just huge and sweaty because she's born in July.
Okay.
But
July.
yeah, it was good.
What's the birthday of July?
July 6th.
Oh, okay. I have yeah, 5 people in my family between the first and the eighth.
Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh,
between the first
boy.
and the eighth. So unique time. Cancers.
Yes.
Cancers.
Mm.
You know what amazes me about all of the pictures that I've seen? That you maintain your natural hair.
I try. I try. Matter of fact, um, let me see. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. My wedding photo, it wasn't, my hair wasn't completely natural. It was relaxed, but I had I don't know if you're familiar with the little what are they called? They're little curlers.
Hmm.
They're little tiny, they have different colors like the red and the yellow and the pink,
Hmm.
yellow
Yeah.
curlers. I would style my hair like that. And I kept my hair relaxed because it was easier to maintain. I know this is gonna sound gross, but I told you before I had really bad skin issues, and I still
Hmm.
did, but it was with my scalp as well. I had extreme dermatitis, and my hair naturally is really dense, and I can't clean my hair well with the flaking and whatnot. So I would it was very time consuming, but I love the look. So I kept my hair relaxed and I would curl it and wear it in the fro.
Okay.
Now, once I found out I was pregnant, I stopped relaxing my hair because I know that that cause can, can affect the baby.
Okay.
So that is mostly natural there. It was, it was really growing with my pregnancy.
Yeah, it was growing. It was growing. Very unique.
Mhm.
Let's go to the next picture. And here we are. The baby is
Oh
here.
gosh, yes, yes. Now, like I said, we had some financial troubles. So at 3 weeks, we were evicted from our apartment because we couldn't because I had stopped working essentially,
Okay.
and we couldn't afford the rent, so we were evicted. Um, and this is a motel we lived in for about 8 months. 8 months, yeah, we lived in
Oh
that
wow.
motel. It was really depressing.
Yeah.
It was really depressing.
I can
But I
imagine.
did. What was that?
Oh no, I said I can imagine.
I
Yeah.
tried not to let it affect me. I ended up I I didn't want to have to go back to work, but we needed somewhere to live. So
Yeah.
when she was about 3 months, I went back to my job, and I continued to nurse. I nursed my daughter till she was a year. It was a few days after her first birthday. I was like, okay, I
Okay.
quit. I'm done because it was a lot. It was really taxing. But I continued to nurse, and I just pumped. I pumped, and my husband and I, we had alternating shifts. So and it was hard on me, not just mentally but physically, because I was still breastfeeding and I was still pumping. And um I naturally I would have to pump or nurse her every 2 or 3 hours,
Hmm.
but because I was working I couldn't do that. So I would
Right.
go 4 or 5, 6 hours. Sometimes one time I worked a double shift and I worked for about 10 or 12 hours straight,
Wow.
and it caused a lot of issues. I had mastitis a few times. I don't know if you're
Mm.
familiar with that. It's like an infection
Right.
in the breast. Oh, I
Wow.
thought I was going to die. I thought, we talking about a pain. Now, I was determined to keep her as healthy as possible and to stay as natural as possible. So I didn't do the relaxers. I worked out. I had yoga. I was already working. I had a physical job. We went to child care classes. I was determined to have a natural, a natural labor and delivery. All of my girlfriends who had kids said, "Girl, don't do it. Girl, don't do it. Girl,
Mm.
don't do it. It's horrible. It's the most excruciating pain that you'll ever experience." They tried to scare me out of it, but I didn't allow them.
Hmm.
I had a baby, and I said naturally, it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad. I just powered through it, and I thought happy thoughts. Um, I went into labor 8:30 that night, and she was born at 6:30 in the morning on Tuesday morning. But it wasn't that bad, and it's gonna be a lot. But as I'm pushing her out, granted this is my first baby, so I'm trying to figure out what to do exactly.
Okay.
The doctor's like, you have to push. She's almost here. You have to push, and it scared me because the doctor said the baby's heart rate is slowing down. Oh my gosh! And it took everything in me not to panic. Um, but then the baby, this is going to be a bit much, but the doctor's like pulling on my private stuff, trying to stretch it. I'm like, ah, what are you doing? What are you doing, lady? It was a woman, like it was a sister. Oh, what are you doing? Then she pulled up. Now I had, because I'd done some research. She whipped out some scissors, Brother Trey. She whipped out some scissors and she said, well, I'm going to have to cut. I said, oh my gosh. And the nurse, granted, everybody's right there, you know, and then she's trying to whisper, everybody's right there. The nurse goes, she doesn't have an epidermal. The doctor said, why not? I said, oh my gosh. And in that moment, I think my body was like, oh, no, we're not going to take any scissors. My daughter's head came out.
Wow.
Yes.
You know,
he said, okay, doctor said, okay, there we go. We have the head. All right, shoulders next. I said, oh my gosh.
Your sister.
Oh my gosh. At the same time, my husband, bless his heart, he's right there. And there's another doctor in there. And I hear really loudly, sir, sit down. Because
Wow.
I guess he was swaying.
He was in the room with you, right?
Yes. He was about to pass out. So he had to sit down.
Yeah, I mean,
it was beautiful.
That's a difficult view. You know, when you
can imagine. It's like an alien.
Yes. And this, just the amount of pain that you sort of endured. I was seeing it where a study stated that a Black woman can endure the most pain out of all of us. And you had your child of free will.
Yes. And you know, that's why I think it's so important for us to really, really try to stay as in tune as we can with our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
But while I was on that table, everything in me wanted me to turn around and squat or get on my knees. Everything did. And I was begging them to let me turn around and squat. And the doctor said, I can't see if you do that. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I was just so incredibly uncomfortable. And I didn't learn until much later, that's the natural way to have a child. And I said, wow, my body was trying to tell me. I said, that's most likely why I was having a hard time pushing her out. Why her heart rate was slowing down. Because I didn't have gravity helping me.
Right. And in America, that's the technique that they use. And that's why they have so many, it's almost like the probability of a child being born unhealthy is more likely than most other countries who have the natural style of birth. You know, you're sitting on your back basically with your legs up. So yeah, it's all part of it. Thank God that your baby, she's beautiful and she's healthy, and she's gonna make big impact on the world.
Yeah, our kids have so much to offer. So much to offer if we allow them. And we waited until she was born for the gender.
Okay.
We waited. Everyone told me I was having a little boy. Everyone. I took the little online quizzes. They all said boy.
That's what you do. You just wait till the baby's here and give her a name.
The best surprise ever.
There you go. Now, who are we here?
Okay. Oh, it's so fuzzy. Okay. I'm in Florida. My little sister is having an event. She's graduating from a course she took through her church. And that's my mother. And that's my baby. She is 4 there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Look at mom.
Yeah.
I'm glad, mom.
I cut my hair because I had natural. I went back to relaxer at one point because I had issues with the scalp. Now I couldn't manage it. So I went back to relaxer. And then I decided to chop it all off, all the relaxer off. And I started the natural hair journey again. And I said, something has to improve. Something has to improve. I started working on my diet a little more. Yeah. I'm not a quitter. I'll just say that.
That's beautiful. You know, y'all look lovely. I'm glad mom is there. You know, everything is beautiful. And it looks like a unique, happy family to me. So
Yeah, we had a good time. I was so proud of my little sister. So proud. I still am.
okay,
Okay,
well,
so I have the wrong order. I have the wrong order. That should have came after.
that's okay.
Let me
It's
pay
cool. Do the
But
order.
listen. This is my baby. This is my baby. At 6 months. So that next Halloween, I dressed her up as Cleopatra.
Okay, maybe Cleopatra.
She hated that wig.
Yeah,
She
I
hated
can
that wig.
imagine.
Yep.
I can imagine her hating the wig. I
It was
mean, it's hot
fun.
on her head. Children, you know, they are naturally temperature regulated. They put the hot wig on her head. I know
Right.
she could have snatched it off and just flung it across the room.
Say, Mama, what are you doing?
Yes, very unique,
Mhm.
very pretty. Like I said, very beautiful young lady that you have.
Thank
Okay,
you.
having fun in
Okay.
the house.
Yes, yes. I told you I love games. I love games. So we playing Twister. We playing Twister. Yeah, we had I think all the classics, Monopoly and
Okay,
Operation and
I
all the
love the
classics.
operation. I loved Operation. I didn't like Twister too much, especially playing. I didn't like playing it with other people on the board.
Me either as a kid. I
Yeah,
didn't I didn't like touching other people.
that was me. I'm like, yeah. Then, then you couldn't get nowhere. You couldn't put your behind nowhere close to my face. That was like,
Yeah, yeah, I did not want to touch anyone else.
yeah.
Yeah. But
And I think those games, you know, allowed us to create, well, develop hand-eye coordination,
mhm,
develop our motor skills, because you had to do a lot of balancing. You have to put, contort yourself to different positions and hold
yeah.
yourself and show that you have some muscle to do it. I just think, a lot of children miss out on those opportunities because we feel like sometimes today we too grown or too big for that stuff. When our kids
No,
were,
never.
yeah, I think it benefits the children when they get a chance to participate in those games.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's next.
Let's
All right, here
see.
we go.
Okay. All right. This is the Wakanda phase,
Okay,
and she was Princess Nakia.
okay,
So we made she had the face paint, and she had like the green and yellow dress, and at gosh, I want to say she was about 3-ish. I got a sewing machine. I learned how to sew. Um,
okay,
I couldn't find my daughter's very slim, and I couldn't find clothing that was appropriate. Everything would fit her, but it would be too short, and I wasn't with the booty shorts or
yeah,
any of that. So I
yeah.
started making her clothes. So we had the green and yellow with the matching hair bow, and we had some foam and some glitter, and we made the little Nokia disc weapon things.
Okay.
So we had a good time. We have a good time.
So, in the midst of you being a mom, and when you encountered I would say, a unique situation where you had to make it happen, just listening to you, it didn't seem like you were someone who complained. You just made it happen.
Yeah, complaining doesn't help. It doesn't help. We got to be solution driven. Um, Being a mom has really pushed me past the limit of creativity I thought I had. It has really inspired me to really find unique solutions.
Yeah.
um, like I said, we were saving for a house, so and I homeschool, so and I maybe started in one of the online K through 12 programs, but that didn't work out. So I created a lot of my own curriculum for her,
Yes.
um, and researched on my own, which was, like I was telling you before, it's quite time consuming, but I loved it. And I had to create a lot of our own activities, worksheets, The lesson plans, I created it myself. So
So it's safe to say that you put your child before you put your child before yourself.
oh yes.
There you go.
Yes. 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 My thing was, as long as I have my self-care where I make sure I'm getting enough sleep,
Uh-huh.
eating well, I'm hydrated and physically, I'm physically active with her, physically active, then I can focus all of my energy towards her, because I understand that your childhood is fleeting. It's
Yeah,
only here for a second.
a second.
I have this second to encourage my daughter to love herself, because that's the main goal, to love herself and respect herself, and to be the best example I can for her. I only have a short time to do
Okay.
that. So everything else essentially, let's put on the back burner.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that, because she's going to reward you later in life.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
Leia.
yes. This is the Star Wars phase. She was obsessed with Anakin and Leia. She loved it. Now, I never really watched it. How did that? I can't even remember how she learned about them, because I never was really interested in the series.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what it was? The new movies were coming out.
Yeah, the new movies.
Like commercials and whatnot. So we got the first three.
Yeah.
And she loved it. So here's another sheet. Here's another sheet that I sold up. That day it was May 4th. And in the Star Wars community, it's called May the 4th. May the 4th. And there are lots of events. So there was a local event and there was a big lightsaber battle at a park. Okay. So we headed out there and it got rained out. Some of them were still out there trying to fight in the rain, but it was like a typhoon. It was really bad. So it was canceled, but we still had a good time. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, again, the fact that you invested in your child, you started creating her own little outfits and things like that. Do you still make outfits for her, although she's a little older?
Let me see. I haven't made a costume per se in a couple of years, but I want to say roughly a year or so ago, I've made her regular spring and summer dresses. Yeah. Often I would make them and I would make them really long and just hem them up so that, because she's really slim, she usually just get taller. So I would let the hem out some so they're, appropriate lengthwise. But yeah, I would say it's been at least a year since I made her tops and dresses and skirts and things of that nature, because we love our dresses and skirts. Yeah, so lately she's been wanting to wear my skirts and tops.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she can fit your clothes?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
She's only a little smaller than I am.
Oh, okay. Well, that's unique itself. I mean, so at least she understands appropriate dress.
Yeah. So as you can see, like I was telling you earlier, some of the earlier photos I couldn't include because it was showing too much.
Yeah.
I got pregnant. I said I had a little girl. I have to show a good example. So I make sure I dress modestly. I never wanted to be hypocritical. Is it hypocritical? A hypocrite? I didn't want to be a hypocrite. You know, and you see the scenes where the daughter says, where the mother is reprimanding the daughter for wearing something, kind of risky. And she says, well, you just wore that, or, oh, I got this from your closet. I never wanted that. So I decided that I would dress a little more modest. So that when she got to that stage in her life, that I would be an inspiration and it wouldn't be as much of an issue.
Okay.
So, and it's working out so far. Yeah. Working out. I said, look, as long as you take care of my stuff and ask me first, you can wear whatever you like. So, yeah.
Who is this young woman?
Okay. We were just having a good time. My daughter loved this picture. She loved this picture. We were doing something with chocolate fudge, and I had a fudge mustache on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She
Hey,
loves that one. We were just having fun
that's unique. But
in the
but
kitchen.
it's
She's a
good.
little chef.
But it's great that you and her take those times to spend with each other and just be in your own little space and creating whatever it is that comes to you all's mind.
Our
There's
kids.
someone in the chat. Uh, as I look
Mhm.
at the chat, named 907 Good Eats. She also has a young daughter that she does a little, I think, a show on. I'm not quite. I think it's maybe Instagram where her daughter. Well, I think it's called Eva's Playtime, if I'm correct. That they create little skits and do little activities
Oh,
together.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check that out. I'll check it out. So I have the one my business channel, Hunting Wisdom, and then I have another one,
Okay.
Single Parent Supporter, where we have games, activities that we do as
Well,
well.
put that information in the chat so people can subscribe to that. Also, we have my man, the Drip Show over here. We have Brina, Salute. We have Next Level, MF, Ronin Travelers. They've all came out to support us today again.
Oh, thank you, everyone.
Subscribe to Trey Ferg, get the player coach and Hunting Wisdom. Subscribe. Definitely put your channel in the chat so people can subscribe to your channel.
Let me see. Ooh, let me find my link. Basic information. You all have to be patient with me. I'm still
No,
navigating these YouTube streets.
hey, how can I not be patient with you and you was patient with me? That's a given.
Hey, you brother, you were being tested. You were being tested
Right.
today.
All this week I've been tested.
Let's see. Let me switch.
Yeah, you just copy it and paste it, highlight it, copy and paste it, just paste it in the chat.
And copy. So that's one. Let me grab the other.
Paste it in the chat first.
I got the one there. Space.
Let's see.
Oh. Okay, I think I'm squared away. And that first one is Hunting Wisdom, and then we have the second one. There we go.
There you go. Ladies and
All
gentlemen,
All
please,
right.
yes, please
Thank you all.
subscribe to Hunting Wisdom and Single Parent Supporter. Definitely subscribe, hit the like button again to Hunting Wisdom and Single Parents Supporter. Thank
And
you, ladies and gentlemen, for
Hunting Wisdom, that's my business channel. You can go there. My contact information is in the description box, so you can contact me if you want to register, because my registration information is there on the channel, and then I will host live streams where we play a trivia game with a cash prize. So that's something you're interested in.
All right.
Contact me.
Yes, definitely contact her.
Oh goodness, this was. Yes, because she was 10. Yeah, so it's been a few years. I think this was one of the last outfits I made. This is my daughter in the green.
Yeah.
She was we dive deep with our studies, especially history. We call it our story.
Yes.
And we were in the we
I
were
don't
in
know.
the 18th century.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking like old
We were in
pilgrim.
we were in the 18th century, and we had studied Phyllis Wheatley at some point, and she loved Phyllis Wheatley.
Okay.
So this was a February, Black History Month. It was a parade, an event in the next city over. So, and they had a costume contest. So she was Phyllis Wheatley. We had a Michelle Obama. The gentleman next to her was W.E.B. Du Bois.
Okay. Yeah.
And I can't recall the others, but I know the other young lady was Michelle Obama. It was such a wonderful time. So we walked throughout the city and, explore all the local historical sites. And she had her picture in the paper and was awesome. She won the prize. I think it was most creative or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And she had her little speech. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's very unique. I think it's beneficial to all young children to participate in certain type of activities and events to highlight
it's 19
the
hours
transition of our culture, important figures that allowed us to be in the space that we're in today. So yeah,
Yes.
kudos to her, kudos to you and all the participants that were in the event that day. So
yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
cool. So let's move. I think we have a few more pictures. We're just gonna move through this now. Who is this young lady?
Oh, that's my daughter. That's my daughter. She has a little messy fro going on.
No, that fro's nice. That fro's nice.
This was this past year, last year, her 13th birthday. We went traveling and we were up in the mountains in my state. We're in Virginia, but we were up in the mountains. It was beautiful. This picture does it no justice. It was beautiful.
Listen, I was in Virginia 2 years ago. My sister lives out in Chesapeake. She's lived in
That's Virginia where I used to live.
Yeah, she lived in Virginia Beach, and now she lives in Chesapeake. She's been married out there 30 years, over 30 years.
That's where I lived most of my life, Virginia Beach. I'm from Norfolk. I lived most of my life in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, couple of years, and now I'm in Portsmouth.
Okay, because I went to the outlet when I was there. 2022.
Okay.
I forget where it's at.
It's Norfolk. Is it? Why do airline comes to my mind for some reason?
It's past Norfolk. It's past that.
I don't recall. I don't really do a lot of shopping like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was there. I went there Wednesday to Sunday. It was a nice event. My niece was graduating high school, so whole family went out there. So yeah. See, if I'd have met you then we could have did this out on the beach.
Yeah. And that's why I used to be out there on the beach, laid out, soaking up that sun.
Yeah, I got my little tan on.
Yeah,
I was definitely for that.
Yep.
But she's a very beautiful young lady. And here you are again.
Thank you.
Back with the natural. I mean, your edges are so tight. It's just all the way to the edge. These are edges right here, ladies and gentlemen. These are called edges. The edges are thick and full. But this is a woman who's definitely on a journey, who's definitely looking at life a little different, from a different lens than previous.
Yeah. I'm trying. I like to think I'm succeeding.
I mean, you're doing a great job. Like I said, don't be so hard on yourself.
Thank you.
It's a different. Once you get out here into the single life, it is a different animal. It really is a different animal. So just continue to do what you need to do. And let's go to the next picture.
I think that was it.
That would be it. Yeah, that is. Yeah. I think we skipped one. Let's see if, okay. So let me just remove this from the studio. Bring it back here. And I'm just going to finish up. I only have a few more questions to go down. We're going to finish up so you can take care of your other business that you have scheduled for the day. So do you have any pet peeves?
Yes. I can't handle if things are unorganized for too long. Just not tidy. A little mess here and there. I've come to make my peace with it because I have a child. But when I see people who are just like, how can I say, comfortable being in a messy environment, I can't deal with it. shoes indoors. Oh my goodness. Ooh. And
Oh,
I didn't start that. I didn't start that until I had my baby. Until I saw her like crawling around the floor. I was like, oh no.
okay,
Oh no. I can't have my baby crawling in filth.
okay. And you had to just sort of like clean everything up, keep everything tidy. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
that's the situation I'm in now. My wife is like that. I'm like that.
Oh,
She says I have OCD,
that's what I've been told.
but I don't know. 'Cause I'm
That's what
very
I've been told.
yeah. Like me, I go through, fold up all my clothes, place them in the drawer in their own little section. My wife,
Mhm.
she'll start out folding them, and by the time she go looking for stuff, it's a hot mess. You know,
Oh,
me, I'm going through it delicately, picking out stuff. Like yes,
oh, but you were in the military as well.
but I was like that before I joined the military.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, my sisters told me I used to iron my underwear when I was young. I don't remember that. I don't think that that's true, but
Wow.
they said
Okay.
they saw me ironing was when I was a young teen. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a neat type of person. I saw my mother cleaning. I just picked it up. I like to clean, and I'm so good at it that I can walk through my house with my eyes closed in the dark and wouldn't bump
That's
into
the whole
anything.
point. See, because listen, brother Trey, I told you I'm blind, right?
Mhm.
And I can't wear these contacts all day, especially
Correct.
looking at the screens because it bothers me. So I usually have my glasses, but if I'm asleep and I have to get up in the middle of the night, or if I just want to walk around, I need to know exactly where everything is.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not stubbing my toe, tripping and falling, breaking my neck, picking up something I shouldn't be.
Right.
Pick. We understand. We're here. We understand each
I
other.
got you. I got you. So here's the next big question though. Is there anything about your past that you would change? And if so, why?
Now, I will only change this if it didn't affect the future. I know that sounds strange because it would to an extent. Because despite everything I've been through, I'm grateful for that I'm grateful for that education because I it's helped me to grow. Um, but if I could change, because I would love more of her wisdom and more of her love and attention, really, because
Mhm.
I felt so alone. My
Okay.
grandmother would be here longer.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely. At least through my teenage years to
Okay.
help me navigate that time.
Yes, I can understand. I lost my both my grandmothers when I was young. One of them passed when I was 6,
Mm,
and the other passed when I was 10.
mm.
So as I got into my teen years, I've always been a helpful guy. I didn't get to, go over to grandmama's house and she baked me a cake, just let me play, what I'm saying, do that type of stuff. My grandfather, my mother's father he looked like Michael Jordan. He was dark skinned, bald head. I mean, when I say dark skin, he was a dark skinned brother.
Also, my grandma used to say, "You so black, you blue."
Yeah, you black, you blue black.
Beautiful. There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Beautiful.
And he taught me a lot about just being a good representative of my name and the person that I was. He always made me do stuff in order. And the way I started it, I had to finish it that way. That's the type of person he was. You know what I'm saying? And he gave me a lot of that wisdom. My father's father was a pastor
Oh,
over 30 years.
oh
Now, the
wow.
crazy part about it
Imagine
is
that
that,
pressure.
but I hardly had a relationship with him. He hardly ever
Mm,
came around. Yeah, I didn't understand it. He hardly ever came around. And my father went through a lot of trauma because of that. From younger at years, I guess he changed his life. My father was in high school, the way he told me the story. My father was a pretty good player in football. He was a pretty good football player. But my grandfather didn't come to his games because he
mm,
had just started getting into the ministry and changing his life. And the explanation my father gave me that my grandfather told him was that since he's changed his life, he can't be around the same people. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't understand it because my father was there. Every day I wake up, he's there. Go to sleep, he's there. And my father suffered from alcoholism. My father was a
mm.
functioning alcoholic. I mean, functioning. Weekends, he'd be pissy drunk. He'd sleep all weekend. He would come in my room crying, drunk. I used to just look at him when I was like, man, what are you crying for? Get up, get out. You bothered me. But I didn't understand it until I got older as far as his trauma because I didn't experience it again. My father was there. He came to all my sports games. He made sure I had everything I needed. He worked at Louisville Slugger for 35 years. This dude invented a machine in Louisville Slugger. He never
Mm,
told me about stuff like that. Very humble guy. You know, my
mm.
mother, very supportive, cook very good, babysit other people's kids, you know, give you the shirt off her back, never complained about raising children, never complained about anything. You know, so when I started seeing things as an adult, I used to be confused, like why everybody ain't like my mama? You know what I'm saying? And as I started getting into dating and my own relationships, I was like, well, you need to be like my mama in a sense. What do you mean? Well, can you cook? Do you clean? Do
Same
you care about others?
clothes.
Stuff like that. Do you care about others? Do you put others first sometime before yourself? And if that wasn't so, then I didn't waste a lot of time. I didn't argue with nobody. I had 5 sisters. I wasn't arguing with
Oh,
I was not arguing with you. You can call me all kinds of names. I'll just leave you alone. I ain't calling. I ain't coming back around. You might not see me for 5 or 6 months after the fact. That was just me.
mm,
That was just me. Was I right? Nah. Was I wrong? I don't know. It kept me out of a lot of bad situations.
yeah, no, don't
Okay.
do that.
So next question. What motivates you to be better today?
Society, and I'm getting more. Now I'm getting more into social media, but for a few years there, I distanced myself from. I didn't have really any social media contacts, barely any at all. But then I really distanced myself from a lot of other foolishness with my family and my husband's family and things of that nature, and just focused on my family. Um, but we, as a family, were put in situations that thankfully exposed the truth of what's going on in the world. At one point, trying to save, for the house, we we moved to a location in Chesapeake that was more affordable, much more affordable, and I'm always aware of. Granted, I homeschool, but I'm always aware of the school districts, how well the school zones, how well they're doing. I check those out, and the crime in the area and whatnot, because that's a huge sign if there's going to be trouble if the schools have low scores. So where we were, the schools were really really good. So that particular area, it was much more affordable. But their scores out of a 10, their scores were like ones and twos. And I was saying, honey, I don't know if this is going to be worth the savings. Oh, it'll be all right. We just mind our own business, we'll be all right. When we moved there shortly before COVID happened, on a couple of different occasions, people flooded our neighborhood. My husband worked a lot. And often he worked the graveyard shift. He would come on wee hours in the morning. He couldn't even get into the neighborhood, much less our driveway. Flooded the neighborhoods, partying. They're all over my car, twerking and drinking. We had a fenced-in backyard. They would throw all kinds of things in our backyard. I mean, needles, beer bottle, food. Mind you, we didn't bother anyone. My baby I couldn't let her play outside. Granted, I could see her from the window in the backyard, but I couldn't even let her play outside by herself. At one point, this is broad day. Our people out there shaming themselves. A bunch of women, unfortunately. And they all know each other. They're in front, of our place. It's a little yard in front of our house. And I'm looking, being nosy because they're loud. Number one, I'm being nosy. I'm looking. This lady, it's one of the drainage ditches was in the front of our house. This lady squatted in the ditch and urinated.
Oh wow!
Right there in the ditch in our front yard.
Wow. Yeah.
I said, Are we really behaving like wild animals?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
This
Yes.
wasn't any kind of emergency. She's there talking with her friends, got up and kept talking like it
Yes.
was nothing.
Yes.
Walked down the street, was hollering at somebody else.
Yes.
I said, whoa,
Yes. A lot of this,
whoa.
yes. Yes. I mean, a lot of this behavior, unfortunately, it leads in who we are. It This type of behavior is just a small fragment of the worst of us. It's just it's just unfortunate that I'm surprised that I'm surprised the way women have sort of digressed in a sense. They in their mind they believe that they're really improving, but it's really digressing. It's not improving at all. It's getting worse because it trickles down to the younger generation of young women. Men, we've always been put in a compromising position to say, figure that shit out. Go forth, figure it out. You don't have no type of home training, figure that shit out. And a lot of times they do. And again, it's always going to be some to get caught up in it. But
Mm-hmm.
they're held accountable. That's the thing about a black man. He's going to be held accountable. Get outside the race. The other races go hold you accountable. So they're just gonna do what they typically would do to a brother. But sisters, they've been allowed to just have these behaviors that really it's a detriment to everybody. Everybody, which is unfortunate because a lot of the young women today believe that that's okay to do. You can't control me, my body, my choice, but look how you abuse your body. You're abusing your body. It baffles me. I don't try to fight it. That's why I say your voice, your story, it's not for the 30-year-old. It's not for the 25-year-old. It's for the 13, 9 through 19-year-old
Yep.
who don't know what to do, who's probably thinking about getting into a bad situation with the man or boy because that's all they know. Nobody's telling them anything different.
Mm-hmm.
And you would choose your path. And if you choose the path of the adult, prepare yourself for the ultimate pushback. Prepare yourself. And I'm saying from men and to women. I ain't just talking about prepare yourself for it. But if you want to make a change, um, historic change, a change that's going to be something that can last years and years, go for that young child, go for that young man, and tell them your story and show them your story and tell them, despite all that, you can still get to where you're going. But I'm gonna help you avoid some of that shit. You can avoid some of that shit. You have to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? And just expect that they'll come in not trusting you because you're not something that they're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know I'm gonna be here to the end. I ain't going no damn where. Blah blah blah. Show them that you have those sewing skills. You'll win them over with that. Show them how they can make their own outfits and have little contests. I'm telling you, little stuff. I used to have a shoestring tying contest with the boys. And these damn, and believe it or not, 16, 17-year-olds don't know how to tie a shoe. But when they learn it, they think they the best at it. They trying to, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of simple stuff that you wouldn't think makes a big deal, but it makes a great impact. I used to call my parent, ma'am, listen, I got your son. I need you to support me. Are you going to support me? Right there on speakerphone with the child right there at my desk. Mr. I got you. Are you sure? Don't be lying to me because I would show up at your house and it's going to be some problems. No, I got you. And the kid will come back to school. He's showing up to class, doing his work. He ain't a distraction. If he's got problems, he go come in, man, I'm mad. What you mad at? Such and such. Okay, well, did it affect you? No, but why you mad? Man, I don't know, man. I just don't. Okay, but why are you letting that affect your emotions? because they still going on having fun, laughing in your face. Well, they shouldn't. Okay, shouldn't, you know? And I used to just talk them through it, and at the end, they realize, you know what, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. But a lot of people are not willing to put in that time with them, and then we wonder why all the children are bad because we overlook them.
Yep.
So that's just my spiel on it, my take on it. Everybody's not built for it. Try the adults. Try to talk to some old stubborn ass 40-year-olds. How far you get. So, okay, so let's go to the next question. I have, let me see. We're not gonna rush through it, but we only have like 4 questions.
Okay.
And you may have already covered it, but we'll see here. What times in your life truly tested your mettle, tested who you were, and what did you learn about yourself by dealing or not dealing with them? The times in your life that tested, whether it was your faith, your motivation to be better, and what did you do to learn about yourself dealing with those situations or not dealing with them?
The first thing that comes to my mind is my marriage and essentially the failure of my marriage.
Okay.
We all have a role to play. You know, there's a failure. We're all to blame in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So I've really been, I guess, trying to analyze what my role was, and taking responsibility for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think to myself, I could have been. I could have been. What's the word? I don't want to say more supportive because I have been supportive. I'll say a little bit more gentle with my spouse, because I guess I learned that not everyone has the resilience. Everyone's resilience level isn't the same.
Correct.
I've been through a lot mentally and physically, so I like to say my resilience is pretty high, so things don't bother me quite as much. But I really understand the situation that everyone isn't the same, and I need to take a more gentle approach with certain people.
Okay.
And forgiving myself.
There you go. Okay.
And forgiving myself because I do, because you said it a few times, I do tend to blame myself for certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's hard. I could say that I'm proud of myself, but in the same sentence, feel ashamed. So forgiving myself is something I'm still working on.
Hold on. Why do you feel ashamed about?
Well,
You know,
I feel ashamed. I feel stupid.
Alicia, stop. Why do you feel ashamed?
Because I feel that I should have known better.
Why do you think you should have known better? Your
Because
life. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, with my marriage anyway, I didn't know until it dissolved that we never had the same goal.
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, it made me feel really stupid and embarrassed and ashamed.
Okay. But in your marriage, were you moving along according to what you assume was the goal and the plan?
I was, but now and over the last couple of years, as I've been looking back and finding things, I'm like, Alicia, there were red flag here, here. But you just chose to ignore the red flags,
But
hoping for something better.
when you contribute that to you doing your duty in your marriage, just trying to be the wife and the mother. in your family that, again, that was assigned to you?
No, not with me, not with me doing my duty. I mean, I feel like we always can improve and whatever it is we're doing. But I think I was doing a great job as far as being a wife and being a mother. Like I said, I definitely could have been more gentle. I understand my husband was going through a lot with work and other aspects of his life. He has a daughter. He has a daughter before our marriage. There were a lot of issues there, which brought problems into our marriage. Um,
But what I'm, you know,
am I not answering your question? Maybe I don't.
no, it's not that. You alluded a couple of times that about you felt a certain way that you wasn't. What was the word you used specifically? You said something about you felt,
I said I felt stupid.
yeah, stupid and
Oh,
whatever.
okay, so I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example without trying to reveal too much. Like I said, my husband has a daughter before. She is
Right.
8 years older than our daughter.
Yeah.
And he wasn't involved with her the way that my ideal husband would have been involved with their children.
Correct.
And that started off, when she was really small. He wasn't in the same state. And I understand it to an extent because there were financial issues, but 11 years passed before he saw his daughter again. That not only caused problems with me, as far as because I could never do that. I could never do that. That's just not in my soul. And I felt that I was stupid because I believed the excuses that he had.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
now I see the reality of it, that's not something he was, because I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, and I don't want to how can I say, speak ill of him in any way of shape or
Right.
form, because I don't believe that helps anybody.
Right.
But it's become really apparent that it's become really apparent that he's not really interested in parenting in the same capacity that I am.
Right. Right.
That's why I said our goals weren't aligned.
Okay. Okay. That's all. That's all. You don't have to reveal no more.
Okay.
No more. Again, just a snippet of who you are. Your situation happened the way it was apparently supposed to happen. Because now you're in a new chapter, right?
Yes.
And this is Big Brother. I don't want you to go through the rest of your life blaming yourself and being so hard on yourself. Because one, you're an attractive woman.
Thank
Two,
you.
at some point, a man is going to want to be all up in your business. It's going to happen.
Business.
It's going to happen. He's going to want to come into your world. I don't want you to miss out on blessings because of your past. Your past is a part of your foundation. It just makes you stronger moving forward. But now you ain't going in with no blinders on. You got to have those conversations often.
Yes.
Often. Every time y'all
Yes.
lay your heads next to the pillow, hey, we still on the same plan, are we, right?
Yes.
What's changing? You know what I'm saying? And again, you said be a little bit more, I guess, softer in the approach. But when you see flags, identify those flags early on. Identify them, meaning, hey, man, this right here is a little shaky. What's up with this? And some answers, sometimes we get an answer. We have children. Okay. Do you talk to them? You support them? Whatever. What's the situation? If it goes, well, the mama this, well, see, that person ain't ready because they're still focusing on the mama instead of their responsibilities.
Yes.
So don't get, again, and if that don't work, move on. Okay, next. Take the time you need. to get to the space you need to allow that to happen for you. Because again, you're teaching your daughter to be strong and independent. In a few years, she's
And
going
and dependent. It's just equally as important to be dependent.
to, okay, but she's going to go into a space that you were too. And then you're going to be all over there wasting all of this beauty without sharing it to the world. When you are a gift, you have to share. And there's no particular level that you have to give it away and share it. Whatever makes you comfortable and whoever's going to be comfortable in that space. Just have the conversations. That's all. Every day. Me and my wife conversate about stuff every day. When I told her when I reminded her that I was the prize 2 weeks ago, she's like, how is that? She questioned, she's like, how is that? I thought it was happy wife, happy life. I said, yeah, that's the old way. The new way is I'm the prize. How are you the prize? I said, think about all the stuff I do to protect us and make sure we have everything. She thought about it. She said, but yeah, I do stuff too. I said, but yeah. She said, but I do this. I said, I'm not with you for none of your money. You know that. I said, I got my own. I'm not with you for your money. She's like, well, what is it for? I said, because of your work ethic, the way you protect the family, the things you do to make sure we got everything too. So that's more important to me. The way you respect me, the way you my wife cooks quite a bit. I tell her she cooked too much. My wife makes sure the house is clean, and she works full time every day.
We are responsible for the health of our house.
And she's gonna go all in. My wife, man, she used to give away stuff. I'm like, hold up, we ain't giving that away. We ain't giving that away. We ain't giving this away. But I felt blessed in meeting her at the time because I was just out here in them streets and it was easy. I had my own shit. I ain't had to want nobody for nothing. When nobody telling me they wasn't going to the Cheesecake Factory and Applebee's and all that. Yes, let's go. I'm talking about, women that, own businesses. I dated a couple of millionaires, which I don't really talk about that much. That was probably the craziest people I met.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they had everything. They used to want to buy me. No, I used to turn it all down. I was getting flued out, as they say. I was traveling all up and down the East Coast. People were back, but I never asked for anything. My focus wasn't about just having sex. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, but I'm a man. I like it. I love it. And I need it. But I wasn't like, well, girl, what's your name? Let's go do no. And I was particular. I've the weave thing and makeup, I would look straight past you like, who's the girl back there with the natural hair with the thick pop bottle glasses? That's nice. That was the girl I like. That was just me. Tall, short. It didn't matter. Complexion, those things didn't matter. If a person was nice, not just to me, but to others. Others with respect. That's what I was attracted to. All that other stuff was just a bonus to me. I didn't need this. I don't know. I guess I was always, again, growing up with sisters, so I understood the emotions and mood swings and changes, so it wasn't a big deal. But here I am, 15 years older than you, 16, really. You would have been like that little kid, like, you can't go across the street. Get on back over to you. Before I tell your mama, and she come out here and whoop you. That was me. That's the type of kid I was.
Like my older cousins.
Yeah,
it was so cool when they came to town. It was so cool.
Yeah, I'd have had your ass climbing trees and jumping off roofs and riding down the sleigh board and all that, playing hopscotch. I'd have had you doing all that.
Oh yeah, hopscotch.
Yeah, I'd have you doing all that, working your muscle, jumping rope and all that. That was me. So we only have I think 3 more questions, but these are simple.
Okay.
What did you believe about yourself that helped you become the person that you are in dealing with hard times? What did you believe about yourself that helped you become the person that you are and deal with hard times?
Ooh, that I have something to offer the world. There's been, well, I want to say a large portion of my life where I didn't know what that was,
Hmm.
but I always knew I had something to offer the world. When I was going to college, went to school, I didn't make it, but I was going to major in business administration. I knew I was going to have my own business. I didn't know exactly what it would be. I started off with, working at that one particular place, the boarding facility, want to be a veterinarian. And then the doctor would let me view some of the surgeries and things of that nature. I said, I don't have the stomach for that. And I knew I wanted to work with animals. I knew I wanted to help those who are less fortunate, animals and people,
Okay.
kids and whatnot. But I didn't know in which capacity. But I knew there was something, and I found it. And yeah, I've been through a lot, but it's brought me here.
Okay.
If that answers your question.
No, yeah. Perfect. Listen, like I said, before we started, there's no correct way to answer the questions.
Okay.
I just appreciate you sharing who you are and a part of your life with us today. If you could change one law, what would it be?
Ooh. I would make it illegal to own another life.
To own another life,
I
meaning
know that's a
almost
lot.
like you would not abolish, but you would just do away with any type of slavery, as you would say, indentured servants, things like that.
Any life. You can't own pets. You can't own any kind of creatures,
You know,
anything living. Mm-hmm.
I need my pets now.
Look. No. Now I love pets. I love animals, but we need to develop those relationships with other people. So many people out there love their animals more than they love people, and come on now, that's not right. That's backwards.
Well, I love
That's
people more than I love animals. However,
okay. Well, you're good then. But there's people out there.
yeah,
If there was a fire, they're grabbing a little foo first.
yeah.
you know.
No,
Um,
stuff. Yeah, I mean, that
but
again.
yeah, I think the idea of ownership of another life, um, it never ends up well in the long run.
Okay. Yeah.
We can look at pets, for example. There are lots of pets who have wonderful lives. They have wonderful owners, but look at what's happening. There's an overpopulation, and there are places that breed animals, and it's going to sound harsh, but that's a form of slavery. It's a form of rape for the mothers and whatnot.
Okay.
We don't want to look at it that way, but it is. Look at our consumption of animals. For a cow, for example, that mother has to be raped in order to impregnate her, and then her child taken away so we can drink their milk, and we don't need their milk.
Okay.
I
You're
think
right.
I think the ownership aspect of another life, it leads to all these other negative things, which in turn hurts us.
Okay. Yeah. That's a unique way of that's a unique perspective that you have on just.
I know I'm getting a lot of pushback for that. I know, but I'm ready for it.
Not necessarily though, because owning any type of life, meaning you have just
Control.
all autonomy over that person. You can just do whatever in the worst situations.
Yeah.
I would hate for anything to happen to my pets because I do have 2 dogs, a German Shepherd who's like going on 2, and I have a older mixed puppy, Soxy, who's older. She'll be 11. And then I have a rescue cat.
Thank you for rescuing.
Yeah, all my pets are rescues.
Thank you.
I never thought that I would own a cat. However, living in a house in suburban neighborhoods, you need a good cat. But because what I learned about cats, even German Shepherds, you don't own them, they own you. A cat comes around when they want to be bothered. They do what they want. Other than that, they stay away from you. When they want to be lovey-dovey, they'll come around. Just like my German Shepherd. She'll come make me rub her. She'll make me feed her. She'll talk to me when she's hungry. Very smart animal. So just in that capacity, and like I said, when you live in a house, your ass need a good cat in the suburbs. Because they was warning us about these field mice and all of this. My Maine Coon mixed cat.
Ooh, Maine Coon. Oh, beautiful.
Yes, nice furry. It's sort of a goldish, brownish fur. Has a little diamond fur in the head. Eyes are blue. Yeah, it's a nice little cat.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, she's nice. So this is the last question of the day.
All right, ready.
Did you have fun today?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Was it?
Yes, without a doubt. This was amazing. This whole process has been wonderful. Getting those photos together. I haven't looked at some of them in such a long time. Just reliving past experiences and walking down memory lane. It's been a blast. It really has.
Listen, you did very well.
Thank you.
And I know you're going to be moving about this space. Again, just be very, very cautious on what you share, who you share it with, because not everybody's going to have good intentions for what you're doing. You're going to get a lot of pushback from both sides because you're married, you're going through a divorce. They're going to be haggling you about that.
Yeah, who are you to talk?
You know what I'm saying? So again, think about your message over the summer. And if you really see it in your heart that you can change younger lives, tap into those young women, help them avoid DV situations, help them understand who they are and love themselves because they need it. I'm telling you. If not, guess what? They're gonna be stooping down in your front yard like they did sometime.
Brother, so disgraceful. Wow. Like this is what she did every day. No, was it no qualms? Just
but again,
babies out there dancing, gyrating.
All of that learned behavior. Think about it. A lot of that's learned behavior. And it's unfortunate because both the males and the females get it. They are brought up in this situation. So now you have two adults who were brought up in a toxic environment trying to get together and build. It's hard. Everybody's fighting about the same stuff.
It's nearly impossible to look past your own trauma. That's all you see.
Yes, but don't own it. You've experienced it and you still found a way to be better. It's just a part of you. Don't mean you have, it's almost like having a shadow. Every time your shadow's behind you, you get tripped up. And when you turn around and you face the shadow's in front of you. So now you see when it moves. You don't have to get tripped up by it because you can see your shadow coming. And you have more control of the things that haunt you. So again, you're going to be moving. People will probably be looking to reach out to you. Your story is going to have some pushback to it, but embrace it. They talked about Jesus and his damn hair that looked like lamb's wool.
And then he had copper skin, hair like wool.
So what you think they gonna do to you? I mean, it is what it is. I'll look at it. You talk about my cousin, you gonna talk about me. And my cousin didn't fight back. I'm gonna fight back. I'm a Gen X. I'm gonna fight your ass back. But I'm not gonna let it own who I am. I'm not gonna change who I am. I can get on here and talk about all the chaos and the mess and I ain't gonna do all that. That's not in my nature. I don't even want that shit entering my house.
Right.
So
it's my castle. It's peace in here. Peace.
Yes. Peace. It's been really fun talking with you today. I hope that we can continue some form of communication. You know, if ever you need some advice, if ever you need something, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You know, don't hesitate to reach out to me. If there's somebody getting on your nerves and you just want to vent, and hey, I'm here, because my message is going to be keep fighting. Keep fighting. That's it, to the end. Okay?
All right. Yes,
All
sir.
right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining Trey Ferguson, the player coach, and Miss Alicia Kathleen. We appreciate y'all coming out and joining us today. This is going to be the end of our show. You please hit the like, share, subscribe to Trey Ferguson, the player coach, and hit the like, share, subscribe to Hunting Wisdom and Parents. Oh, excuse me, Single Parent Supporter. Hunting Wisdom and Single Parent Supporter. Ladies and gentlemen, with that said, this is the end of our show. We are going to end our show. We appreciate you all coming out, ladies and gentlemen. And again, treat everybody with respect. Treat yourself with respect. Respect people, places, and things. Again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trey Ferguson, the player coach, and we are out of here.